The New First Family, 1968. Well, well, folks, here we are about to embark on an adventure together. This is a fanciful, futuristic, and fun-filled fairy tale. It all begins in 1968 in a mythical country called the United States of America. Oh, boy, this is the story of this bozo. But why should I tell you? Let's just listen to Chapter 1, cleverly entitled The Election of the President, 1968.
Ladies and gentlemen, the political upset of the century has taken place today. This November 5th, 1968, will go down in history because, as you know by now, President Johnson has been defeated. Richard Nixon has been defeated again. And for the first time in political history, a write-in candidate has been elected President of the United States. The President-elect is approaching the microphone to make his acceptance speech. Ladies and gentlemen, the new President of the United States.
Judy, Judy, Judy. Oh, yes. Where else but in America can a man become president just by saying Judy, Judy, Judy? Yes, this is Cary Grant saying I don't know how to thank you for this award. I would like to thank all the people who made this possible. My agent, my makeup man, my tailor who told me to widen my lapels for the campaign tour through Texas. And for writing all my speeches, I'd like to thank Tennessee Williams, who got me the vote of all the mothers in America. I'm also indebted to Sophia Loren for playing the part of my wife during my campaign. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, my sincerest thanks to the two men who are most responsible for my election tonight. The men who wrote the original story, George Murphy and Ronald Reagan. Yes.
My, so Cary Grant has been elected president. Will wonders never cease? I can't wait to find out what happens next. And so, meanwhile, back at the White House.
Oh, Mr. President, I'm Washington correspondent Judy Jackson. How do you feel, sir?
Judy, Judy, Judy. How lovely it is to see such a charming young lady here at our press conference.
Oh, Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President.
Judy, Judy, Judy.
Turn it off, honey.
All right, Daddy.
That's the first mistake he's making. You should never address the country when you're on opposite Batman. That's the doorbell. Would you get it, baby?
Uh-huh. Yes?
Good evening, Lindemer. You may not remember me, but my name is Richard Nixon.
Certainly I do. You used to be the enemy. Come in, please, Mr. Nixon. Oh, Daddy, look who's here.
My good friend. Oh, it's you, Dick. Sit down.
Thank you, Mr. President, and forgive me for being late, but traffic was heavy from the airport, and I had a lot of trouble getting to the White House.
Dick, you've always had a lot of trouble getting to the White House.
Well, Mr. President, the election is over, and I'm sorry we lost. I guess this has been a pretty disappointing day for you and your birds.
Yes, Dick, but one thing is true now. they haven't got LBJ to kick around anymore.
I said that years ago, and it didn't help. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to run again. But I need your help, Mr. President. I don't know where to start.
Well, I'll help you, Dick. And I know where you should start. Let me hear how you say, Judy, Judy, Judy.
Golly gee. So Cary Grant is in and Lyndon Johnson's out. What do you think of our fairy tale now? Hold on, kiddies, as we all go to the inauguration.
Good evening. We're broadcasting live the inauguration of the 37th President of the United States, here from the Hollywood Bowl. This inauguration will go down in history as the most magnificent night in Hollywood, second only to the premiere of Cleopatra. The excitement is mounting. Stepping from his automobile, here is one of the newly appointed justices of the Supreme Court, Sammy Davis, Jr. May I have a word with you, Mr. Justice Davis, Jr.?
Sure, baby, sure.
Are you and the other justices planning to make any changes?
You gotta be putting me on, baby. Have you seen the robes these cats have been wearing? Forget it. The squarest. We'll do something in a double-breasted robe with green pearl buttons and a mink collar. See you later, baby.
Mr. Davis's appearance in the Supreme Court is through the courtesy of the Will Maston Trio. Another of the newly appointed justices of the Supreme Court has just stepped from his car, Mr. Justice Joey Bishop. What momentous words do you have for America on this occasion of your appointment to the Supreme Court?
Son of a gun.
Thank you, Justice Bishop. And now, here comes the Chief Justice, Mr. Frank Sinatra, arriving in the lobby in his Lear jet. Mr. Sinatra is accompanied by Mr. Nelson Riddle, Mr. Billy May, and Mr. Count Basie in his order. How do you do, sir?
Doobie doobie doo, doobie doo.
Mr. Chief Justice, may I ask, when will the new Supreme Court convene?
Thursday night, Clyde.
Thank you, Chief Justice Sinatra. The inaugural ceremonies are about to begin, and we switch you to the stage of the Hollywood Bowl for the formal swearing in of the new president.
Ladies and gentlemen, accepting the inauguration for President Cary Grant will be the Vice President-elect of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, the new Vice President.
Really fine, thank you, really fine. Really wonderful group of people here tonight. The new president's really sorry he couldn't be here tonight, but he couldn't get a babysitter. We'll all miss him tonight, but fortunately, my wife and I were at his home for dinner just last night. He was nice enough to make a short film, and he asked me to show it here tonight. All right, Bob, roll that, get rolling, will you?
I love you. You're just beautiful. And I am grateful to you. So will you marry me? Mabel, Mabel, Mabel.
Okay, let's hear it for a new president. Come on, let's hear it. That scene for his new picture, Mabel, Mabel, Mabel. Really fine. It's for the inaugural ceremonies. And I'll see you next Sunday night on my regular show. And along with me will be Mooney Trujillo, Lilo Chucky, Flick Woodoo. Well, good night and drive your car.
Furs on tonight's show were by Cuckoo. And now, good night from Hollywood, the political capital of the world.
Gee whiz, Booby Dolls. Our mythical tale continues with a stirring episode secretly entitled, A Job for the Secret Service.
Miss Noonan, this is an emergency. Tell the chief of the Secret Service I need him in my office immediately.
Good morning, Mr. President. You wanted to see me?
Yes, Boris, I have a secret mission.
Good.
And every precaution must be taken so that no one finds out where I'm going. The safety of the nation is involved.
Right, sir.
I want 4 Secret Servicemen. We'll use the plain black limousines and we'll leave by the secret underground exit.
The secret underground exit? That's great. Now I'll finally find out where it is.
Yes, and we'll need my new plane.
I'll have your secret jet waiting at the secret airfield in secret Arlington.
Right. This is top secret. No one must know where I am.
I'm ready, sir. Let's go.
Oh, one more thing, Boris.
What, sir?
You better call Sheila Graham and tell her or she'll kill me.
Dear me, isn't this exciting? Our modern-day fairy tale continues. The new president, Cary Grant, has appointed his new cabinet. What do you say we sneak in the side door of the White House and meet the new cabinet? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the press, and that's one of the nastiest remarks I have ever heard. May I welcome you and say that we are all here today to play You Bet Your Country. Here is the star of our country, Cary Grant.
Gentlemen. Now it's time to meet the newly appointed members of my cabinet. First, my new Secretary of Defense, John Wayne.
Hiya, fellas. Isn't it swell to be an American? Now, the first thing I'm going to do is scrap all the bombers and the tanks and the missiles and our atomic weapons.
But, Mr. Secretary, how will we protect ourselves from the enemy?
That's easy. We're invaded. All I have to do is get all the wagons together in a circle.